We begin tonight with the protest that broke out outside of an immigration courthouse in downtown Phoenix, with protesters speaking out against actions by federal agents. Those protests happening while at least 3 people were detained by ICE as they were coming out of their scheduled hearings. It marks the second straight day that agents have used this approach. Good evening and thanks so much for joining us. For 12 News at 10, I'm Kariba Devine.
I'm Mark Curtis. It's believed that certain cases are being dismissed so that people are no longer under the jurisdiction of the court. And if they've been in the U.S. for less than 2 years, they could qualify for immediate deportation.
12 News journalist Jade Cunningham was at the courthouse today and has more on how all of this unfolded.
Anger, sadness, confusion.
Grief, frustration, disappointment.
Get back. You need to get back.
Emotions high as at least 3 people were detained by ICE Wednesday.
We're talking about mothers detained in front of their kids. This is sick. This is not who we should be as a country.
Put in a van.
This is not the right way to treat people who come to our country looking for help.
And taken away.
I have seen Border Patrol agents go to immigration court in Tucson. I've never seen it happen here in Phoenix.
I've represented hundreds of people in immigration court, never seen anything like this before.
Immigration attorney Isaac Ortega says his client was detained Tuesday after showing up for a scheduled hearing.
Right as soon as we walked out of the courtroom in the elevator area just outside the metal detectors of the court, several agents were waiting right there and started trying to talk to him.
He says it's all frustrating to watch.
Because this person is doing everything that's been asked of them.
ICE telling 12 News since President Trump took office, agents have a new guidance permitting actions like what was seen Wednesday, adding it's meant to avoid alarming the public or disrupting court operations unnecessarily.
You can't have a country without borders and without immigration law.
Republican State Senator John Kavanaugh saying he supports the administration's immigration enforcement.
People who show up for court who are legal immigrants have nothing to worry about. People who show up for court who are illegal immigrants, they should be apprehended not only in the courthouse, but wherever that they are detected.
Ortega, though, arguing what's happening is not about illegal immigration, that his client and others are trying to stay in the U.S. the right way.
My client had no criminal history, actually. And again, doing everything that our government was requiring of him, appearing for court, following the rules.
And with more detainments expected,
they're like hawks. They're just waiting for their prey.
People are anxiously waiting to see what happens next. Jade Cunningham, 12 News.
All right, Jade, thank you. Tonight, Phoenix fire officials are investigating what caused a massive fire at a classic car showroom. It sparked just before 5 p.m. in the area of 7th Street and Dunlap. Officials say that they believe that the fire started from a single car and then spread to roughly 15 other cars in the building. Luckily, firefighters were able to save an additional 20 cars from taking any damage.
Unfortunately, a new wildfire has broken out, and it's already forcing evacuations in Pinal County. The Cody fire is burning southeast of Oracle, and crews right now don't have any containment. Here's the important information. The Pinal County Sheriff's Office says people living in zones 5, 16, 17, 18, and 19 need to evacuate right now. The San Manuel community and those in zones 4 and 15 are on set status, which means you have to be ready to go at a moment's notice. The rest of Oracle still needs to be on high alert. The town of Mammoth has opened its community center tonight for anyone who's been displaced. So far, there's no word on how large this fire is or how it started.
The Department of Justice is closing its investigation into the Phoenix Police Department. The department has been under federal scrutiny since last summer when the Biden administration's DOJ released a report alleging a pattern of constitutional violations. Phoenix Mayor Kate Gallego says that the decision won't change the city's ongoing efforts to reform its police department. Vice Mayor Ann O'Brien also weighed in on the move. She was one of the early champions of standing up to the DOJ and sees this as a chance for local change without federal oversight.
Spending millions and millions of dollars, tax dollars, on an outside monitor who has complete and total control is not the best path forward to improvement and or reform. We've done a lot of things already, and so I think, as I've always said, that we could do this on our own.
However, the decision was a gut punch for people who currently have open cases against Phoenix PD. 28-year-old James Garcia lost his life during a deadly altercation with Phoenix police on the 4th of July back in 2020. His death garnered national attention and spurred local protests demanding answers, and his family is still fighting for justice.
I am disheartened. I'm disappointed. I feel like they get to pick and choose who matters and who doesn't. I feel betrayed by Phoenix PD because they hide behind qualified immunity, because they fail to serve and protect everyone.
So in addition to Phoenix Police, the DOJ is also closing investigations into 5 other departments across the country. Lawsuits against the Louisville, Kentucky and Minneapolis, Minnesota police departments are also being dismissed.
Today at the state capitol, Governor Hobbs officially signed Emily's Law. Now, this comes just months after the remains of 14-year-old Emily Pike were found. Still, no arrests have been made in her murder. This new legislation establishes a turquoise alert system for people who go missing. It's similar to an Amber Alert or a Silver Alert, but this would be for missing and endangered Indigenous people. It's unclear if Emily Pike would have met the criteria to trigger an alert because she was a runaway. Some of Emily's family members were at the Capitol today and talked to us after the signing.
It's a good thing that an alert system is here for all of Indian country. But the hard part is it's named after my brother and Steph's daughter, and she's not here no more.
The turquoise alert system will take effect by the end of this summer. Meanwhile, there's a $175,000 reward for information that leads to an arrest.
Tonight, the battle over Valley businesses selling hemp in their stores continues. The Attorney General recently came out saying cannabis-infused products like hemp cannot be sold at unlicensed stores like smoke shops. Now, attorneys representing the industry have filed a lawsuit. 12 News journalist Chase Golightly spoke with some of those shops about this. And Chase, they're telling you that this is really hurting business.
Cree-based shops tell me that they are losing out on money and having to lay people off, all for a product they say is legal for them to sell under federal law. When shops heard they could be hit with a felony for selling hemp,
definitely had to take everything off the shelf.
They got rid of all of it.
All right here where the empty spots are at is where we would have all the products at.
Joanna Mataron is the manager for Mainon Mill Smoke Shop in Tempe. While hemp isn't her top seller, it does bring customers.
Elderly people, you know, for pain, and veterans, people that don't like actual THC. I mean, we had creams, we have tinctures, we have edibles. Definitely very popular.
Now, that's all gone.
We definitely lost those few customers that we had, for sure.
She isn't the only business. Shops like Wake and Bakery on Mill that serves hemp-infused products also had to stop putting up these signs for customers.
We've been here for 30 minutes and we've seen one person walk in.
Tina Ullman is the CEO for the Grow Up Co-op that helps market and sell these products. Her business is also at a standstill.
I personally have lost every single client. I've had to lay people off.
It's all in response to Attorney General Chris Mays going after any unlicensed business for selling products that have THC in them, saying under Proposition 207 that legalized cannabis in Arizona back in 2020, only licensed and regulated dispensaries can sell cannabis-infused products. However, these stores and their attorneys say they aren't doing anything wrong.
What is happening in Arizona is absolutely Prohibition 2.0.
Julie Gunnagle is one of the attorneys representing the Arizona hemp industry, filing a lawsuit against the state because of Mays' action.
This is a financially important case because there are about 8,000 jobs just in the cannabinoids that we're talking about. And it's about $300 million in wages that are at stake here.
Their argument is stores can sell these products. Under the 2018 federal farm bill, they claim unlicensed shops are allowed to sell any product as long as its THC concentration is 0.3% or lower.
Looking at the law side by side, I think they just got it wrong.
While this continues to go through the courts, these businesses are playing it safe.
It'd be nice to be able to have that for the customers that were coming here. You know what I mean? And let them feel comfortable.
Now, I did reach out to the Attorney General's office for an interview today regarding this. She wasn't available, and her office referred us to a statement they sent us a few weeks ago, which says Arizona law is clear. Intoxicating THC products must be sold through licensed dispensaries, not convenience stores or smoke shops. Protecting children from potent, untested substances is a critical responsibility. We're live in the studio. Chase Golightly, 12 News.
In national news tonight, authorities in Washington, D.C. are investigating after 2 staff members at the Israeli embassy were shot and killed. Secretary of Homeland Security Kristi Noem says that the shooting happened near the Capitol Jewish Museum. 3 senior law enforcement officials tell NBC News that the suspect shouted "Free Palestine" as he was being arrested. Israel's ambassador to the UN posted to social media saying that the shooting was a, quote, depraved act of anti-Semitic terrorism. D.C. police are now investigating.
Back here in the Valley, if you ride the light rail, there's a big change coming next month. Here's a look at the territory the light rail will cover when Valley Metro opens its new downtown hub and South Phoenix expansion. The biggest change will be that you'll actually have to transfer trains if you want to go from the East Valley to North Phoenix and vice versa. Here's a closer look at the downtown hub. This is where the passengers will be transferring between the A and B lines. The system is supposed to increase the efficiency of light rail, with trains arriving every 12 minutes instead of every 15. The changes go into effect on Saturday, June 7th.